Has this ever happened to you? You're cooking some steaks hoping for a perfect medium rare, and upon cutting into that expensive cut of beef, it turns out either too rare or too well done. Or maybe you've been smoking some baby back ribs for 6 hours, constantly checking the temperature, adjusting the heat, waiting for the perfect temperature. Then telling your hungry family that it's going to be another hour, you think. And after all that waiting, the food is dry. Maybe your food is ready, but the guests are running late, or the side dishes are not done yet. What if there was a way to cook food to a precise temperature, maintain the moisture, know exactly when it will be done, and repeat that success over and over? Well, there is a cooking method that does just that for meats, fish, vegetables, and even desserts. It's called sous vide cooking. I'm Dan, and welcome to Geeked About It. Sous vide is a French term that means under vacuum and refers to the original preparation step of vacuum sealing a food before placing it in a water bath. The idea behind sous vide cooking is simple. You submerge the sealed food in liquid. The water is precisely heated and circulated around the food to cook it to the desired temperature. Given enough time, the food will completely match the water temperature. Here are the 3 basic things needed for sous vide cooking. You need a large enough pot or container to hold the water and the food. For longer sous vide cooking times, the container may need some type of cover to keep the water from evaporating. Next, you will want an immersion circulator. This is the most common tool for sous vide cooking because it precisely heats and circulates the water. For the food, you need plastic bags and optionally a vacuum sealer. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, there is a water displacement method you can use with common zipper lock plastic bags. So what food can you cook using sous vide? The answer is almost anything. I personally have cooked steaks. I refuse to cook steaks any other way. Beef brisket came out tender and juicy. Pork shoulders for pulled pork. Baby back ribs, chicken breast, a whole chicken, and even a 12-pound turkey. That's what I've cooked, but there are hundreds of recipes for all types of food. Let's review some advantages. First advantage is perfect temperature and tenderness. For instance, for a medium rare steak, I dial in 127 degrees Fahrenheit. For chicken breast, the water is set to 155, and for pork shoulder, it's set to 165 degrees. Second advantage is cooking time flexibility. Most foods will have a minimum amount of time to cook and a maximum amount of time, and that range of time allows for flexibility. So, if your dinner guests are running late or that side dish won't be quite done on time, that's okay. Just keep the motor running and remove the food when everything else is ready. Another advantage is consistency. Once you find a recipe that works for you, you can repeat it every time. The last advantage is it can be a healthier way to cook. You don't need oils or butter to cook with a sous vide method. There are some disadvantages. First is long cooking times. Steaks may only take an hour, but that 7-pound beef brisket I mentioned took 36 hours. You need to plan ahead. Another disadvantage is for most foods, you need to finish it. While the food is completely cooked and could be served and eaten as is, it may not have the best eye appeal. So a steak may need to be finished on the grill to get those grill marks. The pork shoulder may need a short time in the oven to get that bark. Or maybe you want to slather barbecue sauce on those ribs and finish on the grill. Also, food safety can be a concern. This is not really a disadvantage, but first-time sous viders may be concerned that the food is not cooked at a high enough temperature to make it safe to eat. There are 2 factors to killing bacteria: temperature and time. Bacteria may be killed instantly at 165 degrees, but is also killed at a much lower temperature over a longer period of time. Sous vide is a great way to make perfectly cooked food for meat, poultry, fish, vegetables, and desserts. It's easy, healthy, and doesn't require big investment to get started. With sous vide, you can create delicious meals with little effort. I hope you have enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.